What's happening in the world of Apple? We've got big news from Addison Capital Co., Strs Ohio, Turn8 Private Wealth Inc., and GK Wealth Management LLC, all making moves that could shake up your portfolio. Stick around, you don't want to miss this. First up, we're diving deep into Addison Capital Co.'s latest moves with Apple Inc. Did they buy? Did they sell? And what does it mean for AAPL? We've got the details. Then, get ready as Strs Ohio reveals their massive acquisition of Apple Inc. Shares, we're talking millions. What's driving this huge investment, and how does it impact the market? Next, we're breaking down Turn8 Private Wealth Inc.'s increased stake in Apple Inc., followed by GK Wealth Management LLC's adjusted position. We'll cover all the ins and outs of these significant financial plays. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Addison Capital Co. dumps Apple shares. In a significant Q1 filing, Addison Capital Co. has trimmed its stake in Apple Inc. by 4.3%, selling off 1,070 shares. This move means Apple now represents a smaller portion, about 2.1%, of Addison Capital Co.'s portfolio, slipping to its 13th largest holding. The firm's remaining 23,628 shares were valued at a hefty $5,248,000. This isn't just a minor adjustment. It's part of a larger trend with institutional investors. We've seen other players like First National Bank of Hutchinson increasing their Apple holdings by a massive 24.6%, and Brighton Jones LLC adding 14.8%. Meanwhile, Apple stock is trading around $234.07, with a colossal market cap of $3.47 trillion. The company recently reported strong earnings, beating estimates with $1.57 EPS and $94.04 billion in revenue, alongside a quarterly dividend of 26 cents. Even SVP Deirdre O'Brien made a notable sale of 34,821 shares. Analysts remain largely positive, with a consensus moderate buy rating and a target price around $240.80, though some, like Phillips Securities, have downgraded to a moderate sell. Wall Street is watching every move, and these shifts by major players like Addison Capital Co. are key indicators for investors. What does this trimming signal for Apple's future? Don't go anywhere, because next we're uncovering the huge stake Strs Ohio just acquired in Apple. You won't believe the numbers. Strs Ohio makes a multi-billion-dollar bet on Apple. In a jaw-dropping move, Strs Ohio has acquired a substantial new position in Apple Inc., snapping up a staggering 5,451,847 shares in the first quarter. This acquisition alone is valued at approximately $1.21 billion, making Apple the single largest holding in Strs Ohio's portfolio, now representing a significant 5.1% of their total assets. This massive investment comes amidst a dynamic market for Apple AAPL. While Strs Ohio is making a huge play, other investors are also making their moves. ROSS Johnson & Associates LLC dramatically increased its stake by 1,800%, and several other funds like Life Planning Partners Inc. and Elite Financial Inc. have initiated new positions. On the other side, insider trading saw SVP Deirdre O'Brien sell 34,821 shares. Financially, Apple reported a strong $1.57 EPS and $94.04 billion in revenue for its last quarter, beating expectations. The stock is currently trading around $234.07, with a market cap soaring past $3.47 trillion. Analysts maintain a moderate buy consensus, with price targets hovering around $240.80, though some firms like UBS Group and Loop Capital are maintaining neutral stances. The sheer scale of Strs Ohio's investment signals strong conviction in Apple's future growth, especially considering it's now their top holding. How will this major influx of capital influence AAPL's trajectory? But the big moves don't stop there. Next, we're looking at Turn8 Private Wealth Inc.'s boosted position in Apple. Find out if they're doubling down. Turn8 Private Wealth Inc. ups its Apple investment. Turn8 Private Wealth Inc. has significantly boosted its commitment to Apple Inc., increasing its holdings by 9.3% in the first quarter. The firm now owns 16,646 shares, an increase of 1,412 shares, valuing their Apple stake at $3.698 million. This makes Apple the sixth largest holding in Turn8 Private Wealth Inc.'s portfolio, accounting for 2.9% of its total investments. This strategic increase by Turn8 Private Wealth Inc. occurs as Apple AAPL continues to be a focal point for investors. Similar to other funds, ROSS Johnson and Associates LLC also saw a massive 1,800% increase in its position, while Conquis Financial LLC and LSV Asset Management initiated new stakes. On the insider front, SVP Deirdre O'Brien recently sold 34,821 shares. Apple's financial performance remains robust, with its latest quarterly report showing $1.57 EPS and $94.04 billion in revenue, surpassing analyst expectations. The stock is trading near $234.07, supported by a $3.47 trillion market cap. Analyst sentiment is mixed but leans positive, with a consensus, moderate buy rating and an average price target of $240.80, though specific firms like Barclays have issued underweight ratings. The continued investment from firms like Turn8 Private Wealth Inc. underscores the persistent confidence in Apple's market dominance and long-term value. What does this sustained interest mean for AAPL shareholders? And finally, we've got news on GK Wealth Management LLC's latest transaction with Apple. Did they buy or sell? Stay tuned. GK Wealth Management LLC adjusts Apple stake. GK Wealth Management LLC has notably reduced its exposure to Apple Inc., selling 1,296 shares in the first quarter, which represents an 11.7% decrease in their stake. The firm now holds 9,792 shares, valued at $2.175 million, making Apple its eighth largest position and comprising 2.5% of its investment portfolio. This adjustment by GK Wealth Management LLC occurs within a broader landscape of significant institutional activity in Apple AAPL. Giants like Vanguard Group Inc. and Geode Capital Management LLC have increased their stakes substantially, while Norges Bank initiated a new position. On the insider front, SVP Deirdre O'Brien's sale of 34,821 shares is still a point of discussion. Apple's financial health is strong, with recent earnings showing $1.57 EPS and $94.04 billion in revenue, exceeding expectations. The stock is trading around $234.07, boasting a $3.47 trillion market cap. The analyst community largely maintains a moderate buy rating, with a consensus price target of $240.80, although some, like HSBC, have maintained hold ratings. Even with GK Wealth Management LLC trimming its position, the overall institutional interest and Apple's solid financial performance suggest continued market confidence. What's next for AAPL after these widespread portfolio adjustments? That's all the Apple news for today. But don't click away just yet. We've got a quick recap and a massive call to action coming up right after this. And that's a wrap on today's Apple Inc. Market moves. Addison Capital Co. trimmed their stake, Strs Ohio made a massive acquisition, Turn8 Private Wealth Inc. boosted their holdings, and GK Wealth Management LLC adjusted theirs. Don't miss out on future insights. Smash that like button, subscribe to iPad Focus for all your Apple news, ring that notification bell so you never miss an update, drop a comment with your thoughts on these trades, and follow us on all social media platforms for real-time market analysis.